Yo, 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 and welcome back to Creeps and Crimes
Podcast.
I'm Taylor.
I'm Morgan. Happy Thursday and happy episode 254.
254. Morgan's back from the beach. She's tan.
Guys, I'm tan.
Look at her on
know
YouTube. Yeah. Get it, like, eat it up. Eat it up.
Yeah, baby.
Meanwhile, I look like I'm the nun.
I actually really like the headband. I'm digging it.
Oh, thanks. I think we're going to bring these back.
It's giving me 7th grade soccer team.
Yeah,
I love it.
And I'm giving I wish I should tease my hair a little bit because I'm a little too southern to have my hair this flat. Like someone's gonna take my southern card away from me. Anyways, Morgan, tell us about the beach. How was it?
The beach was great. It was so freaking hot. Oh my god. You guys know the heat wave was all across the United States last week, and there was no breeze on this beach majority of the days. Like I'm talking, if there was a breeze, it was like a and it was like 110 degree.
Yeah.
Like it was like a hair dryer blowing.
Oh,
on you.
horrid.
It was terrible. And I got fried. But no, it was really good. It was nice and relaxing. But I do want to tell you about my story right before I went to the beach.
Okay, let's hear it.
So I got my second Brazilian of my life.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about your Brazilian.
The first Brazilian I ever had was right before my wedding.
Yeah.
Or no. It was before Jamaica.
Bachelor, right? Yeah.
And then I was going to go back and I made you cancel it. Yeah. I got nervous.
Yeah.
Before my honeymoon.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
So
Aaron doesn't need it.
Yeah, he didn't need it.
He's only for the
He
girls.
was locked in at that
He
point.
He knows.
So anyway, so I go same place and it's a new waxer. She's super kind, but she likes to talk.
Okay.
And
That's your worst nightmare.
it's like Brazilian OBGYN appointment. Like my vagina is open to your
being
face.
at my vagina, please don't speak
I
to me.
don't want to talk.
No,
Like, at all.
No, literally, I have a friend that's pregnant and she was talking about it and I said, I think my worst fucking fear is the fact that people have to see me naked.
Yeah.
Like all the time. People are constantly will have to be looking in my vagina hole.
Yeah.
Eye to eye.
I just hate that.
No, that is not okay to do.
No.
And then checking your boobs, please don't.
Please don't.
Please don't.
Touchy,
and like
touchy,
me
feelsy.
and Morgan are not like modest people. Like we'll change. Like it's
Yeah.
nothing like that. It's just like the spread eagle, like looking at someone. It's just
Right.
for me. I'm
Right.
modest that way.
And also, I'm kind of getting lectured during this appointment because I was like, first things first. I was like, I hate everything about this. I said,
Yeah.
I hate, being spread eagle. I don't have a good pain tolerance when it comes to this. And I have really thick, coarse hair. And I do. Look at my fucking head.
Yeah.
Look at my arms. Look at my legs.
Look at her eyebrows.
Look at my eyebrows. And she was like, oh, okay. She was like, then she starts convincing me like, it's going to be easier if you just keep coming back. Like you didn't come back. And that's why. And so she was like giving me this lecture about it. And
also you have sensitive skin on top of all
right,
of that.
and she's right. And I was like, honestly, it was the only thing that ever helped my razor burn or my ingrowns. And I said, so I would like to do it. I said, but maybe my last time I just had a bad waxer because it lifted me off the table. And I had those highs.
Yeah.
This time I came prepared. I took a Benadryl and I took like 4 ibuprofen.
Amen.
So I was good. And it really didn't hurt. And then we did the butt strip.
Oh, God.
Now, if anyone has never had a Brazilian, usually your position, so you're butterflied, right? Let me cover myself up.
Spread eagle.
You're butterflied laying down for the Brazilian.
Yeah.
And then when you do the butt strip, you tuck your knees to your chest. And
Happy baby.
Yes. And like roll onto your back.
Okay, yogis.
Well, this one, she's like, okay, now I do the butt strip just a little bit differently. And I'm like,
I'm
okay. She goes, so go ahead and flip around. And so in my head, I'm like, the only way she could do this is if I get in like full doggy position, right? So I'm up.
No.
I'm up on this bed on my knees. I'm like, oh, this is kind of like sexual.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, no, I don't do it like that. Lay down. So then I lay down and she goes, now I want you to take both of your hands and put them on both of your butt cheeks.
No.
And spread it.
No.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? She was like, yep, just spread them. So then I'm laying there on my stomach.
I would have rather just been
both
child's
hands,
pose.
like fully spreading my cheeks, laying down flat.
Oh, I hate that for
And
you,
whilst doing so, like, my hands are like, I got a big ass, okay? Big, thick thighs. And my hands are shaking and it hurts bad.
Yeah.
And she's like, you're doing great. Just keep it nice and spread open. I was mortified.
No, I would have been a
But
tomato.
honestly, it was like the easiest
best one?
wax that I've ever had.
Good.
Like, and I did rebook, and then
Good.
she did sell me on a freaking exfoliant because
course
I
she
was
did.
sucker.
Well,
And I was like, how much? Because like it wasn't stopping.
Yeah.
And so I knew I was gonna have to
You're
buy
just
something.
gonna have to buy something.
And I was like, I already have serum from like ingrown hair serum from
Yeah.
Ulta, so I don't need that. And she was like, oh, it's like $18. I'm like, okay, cool. So my $60 wax turned into a $100 wax magically. And then I did rebook.
Good.
In 4 weeks.
Okay, we're not canceling.
Taylor's definitely going to be calling the day before to cancel.
No, I'm not. You're going to go because you don't ever do anything on a schedule. Like me, for me, Botox and hair are always on a schedule.
Yeah, I'll get them next
You
time.
don't have a schedule. You
know.
got to have one thing on a schedule. That was your New Year's resolution last year.
Was it?
Yes, that you wanted to be more like taking girly,
Fail.
like because you wanted to keep up with like your wedding routine that you had going.
Yeah.
You didn't. And we're reinstating it for the second half of 2025.
I'll go and I told her, I said, look, I'll do it one more time. And then, because she's like, it gets easier. Because, like, your hair doesn't grow back like it does.
Yeah.
Like, by the time I go back, I probably will only have, like, a patch. Like, a tiny, like, sporadically.
Yeah.
And so I'll do it. And then we'll go from there.
Yeah, at least, I think you should do at least 2 more because, I shave everywhere every night. Like, I'm a psychopath. Oh, guys, it's not for like anyone's enjoyment other than mine. Like,
can't have hair touching
I cannot deal with a prickle. I cannot do it. It drives me insane. And you'd think that I'd make Logan like baby shave his face every night. I like him having like his face, but like it's like a texture thing for me. It's not like anything other than that. It's not like I think anyone's gross that doesn't fucking shave. It's just me. Like it's just what I prefer. And my mom always told me, because I never did my bikini line every day because I would get ingrowns. My mom always told me, if you would just shave your bikini line every day, you will not get ingrowns. And she's 100% right.
I got nothing right now.
Yeah.
I'm feeling great.
Great. It makes you feel so much more confident. For what? No one can see it but you. Like,
cleaner.
It makes you feel like your pants are way more comfortable because you don't have like a rubbing sensation the entire time. So I think you should keep up with it.
I'll do it one more time for sure, maybe 2, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, we'll go from there.
Because my hair grows back so thick, and so when I wax it, it takes a lot longer, which is nice. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
especially because I'm not a shaver.
And we also need to invest in just getting laser hair removal.
I know.
We have it on our underarms. It's amazing. It's changed my life.
I actually need like 18 more sessions.
I need about 3 more on my underarms.
They're back kind of full force, but like not nearly as bad as what they were.
No.
Like I can go quite a while.
I can go a long time, and it's not as like I used to have.
It's like baby hairs.
Yeah, baby hairs.
Like fuzz.
And it's it's not, it used to be all over. Now it's like patchy. I will say the other day, for the first time since we've gotten our laser hair under our arms, I had like, because that's the problem, because it's that baby hair, it kind of is hard to break through the surface. I had an ingrown in my underarms. I think it's because I switched back from using Lumi deodorant to regular deodorant, because I've been getting a little stinky here recently, and so I was like, maybe I just got my body got too used to aluminum free, so I went back to non-aluminum, so I mean full force aluminum, so I think that just made my underarms like break out.
Yeah, and they do react. Like whenever you switch to deodorant in general.
Oh, God forbid I have to, like I'm running low and I have to use like the boy kind, because I keep like a supply of like travel.
Burn.
Fucking red looks like I just like use sandpaper under my arms.
Yeah.
Chemical burns.
Aaron's like strictly native right now.
Yeah. Logan can't use that blue gel of Old Spice because that makes his underarms, well, first off,
it burns.
I looked at his underarms one day and I said, Logan, are you having an allergic reaction to something? Like, what's going on? And I'm not saying just his underarms. I'm saying like a full strip from his elbow to his like mid waist.
Yeah, it's like rash.
It's just like rashed out. And he was like, no, he's like, it's gotta been hot. I think it's from me running, because it was like when he was training and friction and whatever. Well, like a few weeks ago, we were going to the store to get some, like, he needed more deodorant. And I was like, hey, I'll just go grab our deodorants. Like, which one do you want? He goes, anything but the blue, because remember that rash? He goes, that wasn't from running. That's like a chemical burn.
For sure.
I'm like, yeah, I know it was.
Those
the
gels
whole time.
Always
that's
that.
Like, how's that legal?
Aaron had to stop with Old Spice as well. He did that wolf horn or whatever that smell was. And he had to stop completely.
Oh, I remember when you bought that.
Yeah, reacting to it pretty bad. And so which he used his whole life, which is weird.
Yeah, that's really weird. They must have
he does like
something.
native, and it's like sensitive skin. Yeah. And he loves it. And I'm like,
yeah. Well, we did a take one of this before we realized that we didn't do a mic check. That's been like our chronic thing of ours the last few weeks. But we were talking about how me and Morgan have both pretty much lost our voice for the hour and a half that we sat here chatting before we pressed
we were
record.
reenacting far too much.
Far too much about our
really
time apart.
using our voices.
We were projecting them.
And yeah, I'm also absolutely exhausted today. Taylor is absolutely exhausted today. I don't really know how this episode's gonna go.
No.
I'm telling you, forewarning right now, mine's short as fuck.
Mine's
all right?
also shorter than you guys know I typically would like.
So this is probably gonna be a shorter
We're
episode.
just easing our way back into it because that's what me and Morgan were talking about. Like, there's just, you know, some breaks that we take where it's like the break, we need a break after the break. Like, you guys know how it is. Like, when you go on a vacation, the traveling there and the traveling back, and then me and Logan had family in and stuff going on throughout the entire week that Morgan was gone. So I didn't even get to relax. I didn't get to edit the Susan vlogs that I wanted to edit. Like, we are so fucking dead. Like, I mean, exhausted.
I got notifications on my Oura Ring that was like, you need to stop taking naps so late the last 2 days. It was like, it's fucking up your sleep. I'm like, okay. Gotcha.
Shut up.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. He just replaced it for the crunchy, not the puffs. I mean, at this point.
No, he didn't. No substitution. Cancel order.
It already went through.
Why did he replace it?
I don't know.
Taylor really wants these hot Cheeto Puffs.
I just want hot Cheeto Puffs. Guys, okay, because listen, have you been watching the fucking mukbangs of this girl, fucking chili cheese dogs, and she puts sour cream on them with the flamin' hot Cheeto Puffs on top.
I've actually never had a flamin' hot Cheeto Puff.
They're amazing. They're so good. I've only had them one time in my life, and it's been all over my For You page, just bitch eating them. I want it so bad, but I know if I have like chili cheese dogs, I will not get off the toilet for like a week.
Right.
So my like alternative of what I want, my mouth is watering, is those puffs dipped in sour cream. If anyone's on their period listening to this, good luck to you, bitch. You're going to be at the store right now. You're on your way to the store.
Well, we just searched high and low on DoorDash. Logan was supposed to get them, forgot it.
He forgot them. I
just searched high and low on DoorDash, crashed out again because they only had 8-ounce bags, the small ones.
And now
we don't even know how much an 8-ounce is.
No, we can't.
And now it's substituted.
For the crunchy ones, I don't want the crunchy ones. I want the fucking puffs. Because you don't like have the sting of the heat as much.
Yeah, that sucks so bad.
Well,
did you see the new ramen house that opened up by Going Gone? With like the hexagon wall.
Yes, and I watched a girl eat a bun from there. We have to go.
I would love to go. I've never actually had ramen like that besides in Disney.
Oh my god, we have to go. Oh, by the way, I'm trying to talk Logan into doing I would do the 5K if I could, but I don't think I have enough time. I want Logan to do the Disney marathon. It's on January 11th.
Okay.
And I was like, I want him to do it. I was like, maybe we can talk our friends into doing it too. And I would do the 5K with them, but then I was like, I ain't doing my 5K. Yeah, but mainly I want to go because I want to eat and ride rides. Like, that's all I want to do.
Yeah.
And it'll be right after the holidays, so no one will be there, only the marathon runners. And I think you get in the park early. Like, once you finish the run, you're done.
I've been actually really craving a Disney Florida or Disney World trip.
Let's do it.
I haven't been to Disney World in like.
Do you think we talk Aaron into doing it, running it?
Fuck no.
I think he might. I think if we like,
he would do a half.
He would do a half. Okay, Logan would do a half. But Logan was like, it's the easiest marathon that there is. So Logan was like, it's all flat and it's in January. So it's not
through
hot.
The parks?
Through all the parks. And so you run through all of the parks in the marathon. And the other one you only do, I think, 2. In the half, you only do 2. But like Logan was like, I could get like a fucking great time just doing it. And you don't even have to like train crazy for it. Like not like he had to for Big Sur because of the...
We could walk a 5K.
I mean, I could
just for a little.
No, seriously. Like I would do it just for the sweat and to get in and like to get a fucking medal and then go around the park all day.
Yeah.
I think we should. It's been official a year. That's why we're craving it. I mean, I'm like, we gotta go back.
Where's our trip?
We need to go right now.
We really aren't going on a fall trip this year.
No,
and
we normally do have like a fall trip that we're doing. We're doing fall trips just separate, and that's not fun.
No, it's not fun at all.
That's not fun at all.
Fuck that.
Fuck that. Okay, let's hit them with it.
If you're driving, throw that shit on cruise control.
If you got a glass, pour that shit up,
and let's get creepy.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. I don't know about you, but you know, like when you're having that really bad day and you're like, maybe there's something on TikTok, on Google, on Instagram that can help me out. And all of a sudden there's like 9,000 things. It's like, take a cold plunge, go outside for
Put
a
your
walk.
feet in hot water.
Oh my God. And dunk your head in ice cold water and then
so
come
then you're
up.
running around trying all of these different remedies.
And then you're like, is there an easier way to do this? Oh yeah. Therapy.
I could just talk to somebody.
I can literally just sit down and talk to someone. And there's no easier way to do that other than BetterHelp. You can do it from the comfort of your own home.
BetterHelp has over 30,000 therapists, and it's the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally.
And it works with an average of 4.9 out of 5 stars for live sessions based on over 1.7 million client reviews.
It took me a really long time to solidify my relationship with my therapist, and I went through a lot.
Yeah.
And thank goodness that BetterHelp has so many different options so that you can find that perfect fit.
And it's just a click away. Like you can text, you can call, you can live chat, like whatever you need to do, it's made to be tailored to your life.
If that sounds appealing to you, then our listeners, you guys, our besties, get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/CACbesties.
That is 10% off of your first month with BetterHelp when you go to betterhelp.com/CACbesties. Okay, hot Cheeto Puffs came, they conquered. And
she had me eating some crazy concoction. It was literally potato soup with cheese and sour cream, chives, and
hot Cheeto Puffs.
And hot Cheetos on top.
Well, not puffs, it was just crunchies, but if the puffs
that was
even
so hot Cheeto girl of you.
I know, and Morgan even said the puffs would have been better.
Because they would have just disintegrated. It would have been awesome.
Yeah, but we got it, and then I pounded like half the bag because it's all I've been wanting. And now I'm dripping in sweat. My nose is running. I can't even breathe, but I'm ready for your story today.
And your tongue is bright red.
Yeah, and my tongue is bright red. I'm sure my teeth are bright red too. I think they're bleeding. So it hurts so bad.
Okay, so I was itching to do a doll again because, well, with Miss Annabelle in the mainstream media yet again,
and then
I
the
was
Conjuring coming out.
actually this close to covering her, but I just feel like she's had way too much media attention, and I just didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Have we not covered?
no, I looked, and I was like, I should really cover Annabelle.
Hold the fucking phone. In all of our 254 days.
I think she was briefly discussed
in
with
the
Ed
Conjuring?
and Lorraine Warren.
Okay.
But I wanted to cover her today, but I didn't because she's scaring me.
When
right
does
now.
the final Conjuring movie come out?
I don't know, but that new horror film comes out this Friday.
Which one?
It's the one with the kids and they all go missing from the classroom.
I haven't seen it yet.
Dude, I remember watching this trailer back in like February and I was like, this is a horror movie take that we have not had yet. Like this concept is going to be fucking good. It's going to be one of those psychological mind fucks.
Oh, I love.
But it looks scary.
Oh my God. Okay.
So I'm really excited.
When's it come out?
Friday. This Friday. I forget what it's called.
Should we go? Not on opening. That'd be a good
Now
day.
we have to decide reclining chairs or slushies. I don't know.
Shit.
So hard.
Okay, but I will say I went to the one at Turkey Creek to go see Fantastic Four the other day.
I need to see that too.
And I didn't even mind the non-reclining seats because of how absolutely delicious the snacks and ices were.
Damn.
Yeah.
See, I love a good recline.
I know, I do too.
Depends on how long the movie is.
Yeah,
if it's over 2 hours, I'm going to
No,
Cinebar.
we have to do the recliner.
If it's under, I can
questions
do
asked.
Turkey Creek.
Yeah.
So-
I agree.
We'll have to check that out.
And also, I'll just go get an icy before.
yeah, we could
from
do that.
Burger King.
Literally, we could do Burger King. We could do Casey's. They have great Coke and
They have
cherries.
great ones. We can
And
put
we'll
it in
just
our
sneak
purse.
it in. Exactly. Exactly. Remember when you guys were yelling at me for my water bottle? You can't have that in here.
It was the way that Aaron reacted. And I was like, oh, okay, we gotta be cops. Like,
I was like, what do you mean it's water?
But
I think
what's-
you're allowed to bring water anywhere.
I think, right? Aren't you?
I'm
allowed?
pretty sure. Like, they
Well, what are
can't-
you gonna do? Like, come?
Do they think I'm drinking straight vodka? Because good God.
God, okay, but look, hey, look.
Maybe because it's like a bar theater. Maybe they would have.
Yeah, but like
Sniff it.
Point being is that water should just be free.
Period.
And that's on that. And that's on that, on that, on that. And I'm a growing girl. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay. Beyond that, so instead of Annabelle, I have this like crazy old wicked doll that I fear that we're going to love him a little bit too much.
Oh, God.
So this is the story of Letta, or should I say Letta-Me-Out. Letta-Me-Out.
Oh, God.
Which is actually his name.
Oh.
He goes by Letta-Me-Out.
Okay.
But it's Letta the doll.
Okay, Letta.
Letta has a history of over 200 years. However, her story and fame really start in 1972 in New South Wales. And it all started with a little play date between the Walton brothers. Now, Carrie Walton is like the main caretaker of Letta the doll. And his brother is not named in any of the sources except for like a couple, but everyone always just says his brother, so I'm assuming he wants no parts of it, so I'm not going to name his name there. So Carrie Walton and his brother were out and about in the town of Wagga Wagga. I had to look that up. I was like, that's fake.
Okay.
It's real and it's cute. Wagga Wagga, New South Wales, Australia, doing brotherly boy things like exploring creepy, decrepit, abandoned, falling apart houses.
I mean, and what else would you be doing?
Exactly. This house had been abandoned for decades and had always gave off this kind of creepy stay out vibes. Monster house. Its walls were peeling off. The floorboards were basically gone. And if they were there, they were loud and they were creaky. However, there was something about this house that day that was really drawing the boys' attention. And like most boys do, one brother said to the other, I dare you to go in. And I'm sure the other responded with, well, I double dog dare you to go in.
Yeah.
And then what? Triple
I'm
dog
not going in if you're not going to go in.
I triple dog dare you. So I'm sure there was a little battle, but it all started with a dare. And they went back and forth a million times until finally they were both standing in the abandoned house together. In the corner of one of the first rooms was this warped up floorboard. And out of curiosity, or maybe yet another dare, they pulled it up. And I would have screamed if I saw what they saw. But instead of that, the boys were like, hell yes, a keepsake.
Oh, God.
And decided to take this object that was under the warped up floorboards home. This object would later be named Letta the doll. Now, Letta is not your average Raggedy Ann or porcelain doll. As a matter of fact, I want to clarify again that Letta is a he. And he is about 3 feet tall, which is almost the size of a small toddler.
Okay.
His body is made entirely of wood, carved by hand. It's really stiff. He's solid. And his limbs don't move freely, but they are jointed in like a stuck way that positions him in a seated pose.
Wow.
He's like this.
Oh, love that. Letta. So pretty.
Letta's head is oversized, just slightly too big for his body, which only makes him look even more unsettling. His hair is long, dark, and real. Oh. Yep. Made from human hair, according to multiple sources.
Okay.
You looking him up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, dear God. Oh,
He looks
so
like a
pretty.
ventriloquist doll, though.
Yeah, I would think actually. In fact, I literally think I've seen this doll in Shrek.
I think they're called marionette dolls.
Yes.
And they have a European marionette, I think.
It's the
Let me see it again.
intense shape of the eyebrow for me. Yeah.
Why did you have to psycho? Why did you zoom in like that?
I'm going to screenshot that so I can show you guys what I just showed her.
Why did you do that? Like, there's plenty. I know. There's plenty of pictures far away. So tell me why you had his whole face on your screen.
He got his hair a nice silk press.
Oh, yeah, he did get a nice silk press.
He
Little
did.
middle
Look at
part there.
Oh, and he's
looks
a
like
little shy boy.
He looks like a little
Camp Rock.
berries and cream.
Yeah.
Berries and cream.
He's got Camp Rock
Let-Me-Out.
here.
It's berries and cream. Yeah, he does have Demi Lovato.
Yeah, and
face.
he's like, oh, a little shy boy.
Yeah, he is. Okay, so his hair is thick, tangled except for the silk press.
Yeah.
And it sits just past his shoulders, and it also adds to that feeling that he's almost lifelike. And then there are his eyes, which are probably the most talked about feature of Letta. They're wide open, they're made of glass, and they sit really deep into his face. People often say that it feels like his eyes follow you around the room. Not in a cute, oh, he's watching me way. When would that ever be cute?
No.
But in a really uncomfortable, why is he still fucking looking at me kind of way. His face is hand carved, which gives people the impression that he has all kinds of expressions. Sometimes he looks blank, other times sad, oftentimes angry, especially in photos. He always looks angry in pictures, but it's always the same face. The only thing that's changing is how people interpret it.
Okay.
Because he's really just sitting there like this.
No, it literally is the same face.
Yeah.
Like he's wooden, so.
Yeah, well, obviously not moving his face. That's
you can't
funny.
really do that.
And he's always suited up. His style is definitely a little old-fashioned, not too flashy, but usually a shirt, vest, and some pants. A little berries and cream moment for him. And this is the object that the boys saw in this abandoned house under a warped-up floorboard, and they were like, "Yep, you're coming home with me."
No, we would have literally ran out.
I would have screamed.
No,
and they're like, "Fuck yeah!"
They're like, look at this. We found it.
Take it home to mom.
Finders keepers.
I don't dare you to
No,
leave it
literally.
here.
No, I double dog dare you. You pick it up. You pick it up.
I know, they went
and
back
under
and forth.
the warped floorboard. I'm sorry.
Why would you even lift that up?
No, I just
actually,
wouldn't,
backtrack.
actually.
I wouldn't have even done that.
No.
Carrie Walton at the time didn't necessarily believe in the paranormal and took the doll more out of a curiosity and the fact that it looked vintage and might be worth something or just be cool to have, potentially a little bit valuable, who knows. So he takes it home. And that's when things started getting weird. Almost immediately, people did not want to be around this doll. Friends came over and they would get visibly uncomfortable. One person left the house within minutes, saying that they felt sick the moment that they looked at Letta.
Move.
Even dogs had extreme reactions, either barking wildly or trying to run away and avoid it. And then the activity began. Carrie said that the objects in his house started to move on their own. First, it was small things. A picture frame that had been straight would just be a little crooked or turned. A chair would be slightly shifted or out of place. And then it was the heavier items, like a door slamming when no one is nearby, or lights flickering, even though there were no electrical issues. People claim that they heard footsteps at night, yet nobody was ever there. Ugh. One of the most disturbing things with the Walton family is that the family started having vivid nightmares, most involving Letta, others involving drowning, shadows, or being trapped.
Those are really specific.
Right. And at one point, Carrie said that he dreamed of that Letta was walking around the house, not crawling, not being dragged, just like calmly walking, which is weird also because he's in a seated position, so I'm sure his butt was out.
Yeah, literally, just like a little like
Mr. Roboto.
Yeah.
But maybe the creepiest moment of all was when a visitor said that they had heard it speak. Just one sentence. Letta-Me-Out. And that phrase stuck because it's where he got his name. Oh, Letta-Me-Out, Letta, the doll. Whether the words were heard out loud or imagined, they became part of Letta's legend. And even though all of that sounds terrifying, Carrie didn't get rid of the doll. In fact, over time, he started to feel like Letta belonged with him. He said that he felt connected to him, like it had chosen him. And that's something that comes up again and again with Letta. The idea that he's not just haunted, that he attaches to whoever finds him. And once you find him, he's not going to let go. While we have no idea where Letta comes from, there's 3 popular theories that float around. And theory 1 is a Romani spirit vessel. Some people believe that Letta was created by a Romani person over 200 years ago, somewhere in Eastern Europe, possibly Romania or the Balkans, and then he ended up in Australia during that great European migration.
Oh, yeah.
We've talked about it before. The Romani are a nomadic ethnic group with strong spiritual and cultural traditions, especially when it comes to protecting themselves from evil spirits or curses. So the theory is this, that Letta may have been made to serve as a vessel, something to hold a spirit, not necessarily in a scary way at first, that it could have been done to keep the spirit of a loved one close or to trap a restless soul that was causing problems in the village. People believe this because the craftsmanship of Letta is very old, very specific, carved wood, real human hair, glass eyes, all things that were used in older spiritual artifacts. Some psychics who have examined Letta say that it feels like he was made for a ritual purpose, not as a toy.
Well, the real hair is like,
yeah, almost voodoo-y.
Yeah, it's like witchcrafty.
Yeah. Basically, Letta was probably built to contain something, but the question is, what was Letta containing? The second theory is that Letta is the spirit of a drowned boy. This is the most popular theory, and it comes directly from Carrie Walton and the Walton family, as well as several psychics who he has consulted with over the years. They believe that Letta is connected to the spirit of a young boy who died by drowning, and that his energy or his spirit and grief and confusion and fear is now somehow tied to this doll. We have no idea who they think it is, but why do they think this? It's because Carrie and other family members have had repeated dreams about drowning after bringing Letta into the homes. And psychics say that the doll holds the spirit of a child who was trapped or lost, and that the doll may have made to honor him or keep him from being forgotten. So it could have been someone's son, and they created Letta to...
And that explains a real hair also.
And it's like the 3 foot tall.
Yeah. And that also does like...
I think it's a little mix of...
containing the spirit.
I think it's a mix of both theory 1 and 2.
I do too.
Like I think that they're right that it's a Romani
doll,
not architecture.
Artifact.
And they created him to house a lost one,
a soul, and they use like hair and significant spiritual. Yeah,
exactly.
Why they made it look like that though?
I wonder if that's what they looked like though. 200 years ago,
you think that they looked like little 3 foot grown men?
What if they did it to like scare the trolls off or something?
No, it literally looks like a troll, and it's the eyebrows for me. Y'all have to go look on our Instagram right now so you can see these eyebrows that I'm talking about.
People feel grief and sadness when they're around it, not rage or danger, just really heavy emotion. So that kind of energy kind of fits with the drowning boy backstory as well. Some think that the boy's spirit was never meant to be trapped, but the doll ended up becoming a kind of like emotional, I guess, container that holds all of that unresolved energy. And the third and final theory is that Letta was made to scare people away, like this protective charm or even a warning doll to keep people out or something out of that particularly abandoned home. People say this because some older cultures did exactly this and believed that if something looked scary enough that it would ward off evil spirits. After decades of weird experiences at home, Carrie Walton eventually decided to bring Letta out into the world. He started showing the doll to others, hoping for answers, or at very least to share what he was at least living with. And once Letta hit the public eye, things only got stranger. Carrie brought the doll on several major Australian TV shows, but most notably Today Tonight and Sunrise, and also appeared at numerous paranormal expos and live events across the country. And every single time, Letta showed out. Today Tonight was one of Letta's first big media appearances, and during the show, the lights or the lighting rigs, the things that are like up on the stage, started flickering, the microphones were glitching, and the camera feeds cut out issues that the crew just couldn't explain. We're gonna be fucked. I just thought of that.
No.
No.
We
think you're handsome.
We think you're a cute little boy.
We think you're just a little boy.
And if you're made to scare you, you're a scary little boy.
Some of the staff refused to finish working the segment and actually walked off the set. One camera operator reportedly said, "I'm not filming that thing." The host later admitted that she felt this intense sense of dread while sitting next to him. And she said that she couldn't focus during the interview because she felt like her chest was tight, like she was being watched the entire time.
Oh, God.
I hate that. Then Letta went on to his next morning show, The Sunrise. The female host had to step away mid-segment because she said she felt dizzy and nauseated, and then she couldn't even return to finish the interview.
Oh, my God.
And the other male host said that afterwards he had this pounding migraine, which is something that he doesn't often get, and it came only after the interview. And he was totally fine all day long. After it aired, multiple people called in that their TVs either glitched or froze or the audio kept dropping.
Guys, immediately.
You have to let us know.
Immediately tell us.
I need to know. Because I
wonder if that's why our TVB didn't go out today.
That is why.
Damn him. Damn you, Letta-Me-Out.
Carrie began bringing Letta to ghost tours, expos, and meetups across Australia. Here, his strange energy seemed to get even stronger, especially around crowds, which is something that you see also with Annabelle. Carrie has seen people cry for no reason just while holding him, while others will become angry or anxious or just physically ill being in the same room. He now travels with Letta in a padded case to keep him safe, but also to contain his energy. And even then, he'd had things go wrong, like his car battery would die or his radio would go haywire while traveling. Lights would flicker when he would walk into a building.
Let me tell you where the fuck I don't want to be. On a plane
With Letta.
with Letta.
Don't bring him over.
Do not bring him over.
Imagine how many times you are on a plane with like a haunted artifact.
object.
I feel like it's probably more than we think.
No, I think it's
Especially,
like, when the amount of times you're beside like a serial killer. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah. Or just a killer in general.
way more than you think.
Way more than you think.
That's crazy.
That's
think
crazy.
About. Carrie has turned down offers to sell Letta, including from museums and paranormal collectors. He believes that Letta is meant to stay with him and that removing it would trigger something worse. Quote, Letta's like family now, he said, but you still have to respect him. Of course, there are skeptics that say it's all made up, but Carrie says otherwise. And that is my mini. You're welcome. Letta. Letta-Me-Out.
Wow.
Let a bitch out.
Yeah, you have to go look at the picture of him because like that's all the way that he's designed. There's no way that they made that to like signify a little boy.
Right. He's actually deemed Australia's most haunted doll. I mean, 2 TV shows.
That's
and
crazy.
Like fucking up.
But
both
granted,
of the
they
hosts.
could be doing it for, you know, let's be the stupid scientists.
Right.
Let's be the realist here. Like, could have been doing that for views and for the story of it.
True.
Because we've considered it.
Been there.
Been desperate before. Never had to pull that trigger. But
That is very true.
yeah.
But I feel like as a host, like imagine being so sick that you don't
and
even
you
go back
step
to
off.
set. Like
not
that's
right.
not right for a host.
They wouldn't do that. And plus, like, it puts your job at jeopardy.
But I also want to know kind of like why isn't your brother like in on?
Well, I was about to say, where's the brother? Is
Like
the
they're not
brother-
making any money on this. Like he's
Right.
Imagine freaking Zach Bagans is like I want to buy Letta for my museum. Like imagine how much money he would offer
He'd
him.
offer
And he's
you.
like, no, I'm not interested. Think so. Like he's like extremely attached to the stall.
See, that's it. That's like the creepy part of it.
Yeah.
And the way that he's like, it can't. Okay, well then, what happens when you ultimately pass away?
Yeah, who gets him?
Yeah,
He does have an Instagram. It's called
I saw the merch when I was looking on there.
Yeah, I think I didn't follow. They don't have many followers. It's just Letta-Me-Out. I think it's the legit one. I'm not sure, but they did post. It was like, sorry for the delay in posting. Like, we had a death in the Walton family. But like, he's got it with the damn grandbaby right next to him, holding it. Pappy, you get that baby away from him right now.
Get that baby away from fucking Letta-Me-Out right now.
Yeah. Evelyn, his other care. So I think that must have been Carrie's wife. Because that's who passed away, Evelyn Walton.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, my carers, Evelyn and Carrie.
Oh,
You know, he reminds me of something from like
Shrek.
Oh, he looks like Lord Farquaad.
Yeah, that's exactly who he looks like. He dead ass looks like he's a character they drew up in Shrek.
I wonder if Lord Farquaad is
Inspired
by him.
Yeah, because his face is really similar. You guys have to look it up. Anyways, Morgan, I really liked it a lot, even though I hated it at the same time.
I know. I
'Cause I'm
really do
scared.
want to cover Annabelle, but I just couldn't today.
No. Okay, so the case I have for you guys today, I cannot believe I haven't covered yet, and half of me almost thought I had, but I think I'm getting it confused with one other case where I maybe had mentioned it. This is the case of the fast food killer out of Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, have you?
I feel like I've mentioned it. And
I covered this.
I looked in all of our Google Docs and I could not find it anywhere.
Okay, maybe you mentioned it.
But I do remember vividly maybe the Austin yogurt shop murders. Or no, I'm thinking of like a Wendy's drive-through case that I've done in the past. Maybe the burger murders or something like that. I don't know. But it did say that this case is often confused with another case. So I was like, okay, maybe that's what it is.
That's probably what it was.
So if I've covered it before, I don't think I have.
You haven't.
But I do at the same time think I have. We'll see.
I don't have a memory, so I won't be able to tell. But
We'll
you
see.
guys will know.
You guys will know.
New story for me, though.
Yes. So it's 10 a.m. on Sunday, February 16th, 1997 in, okay, this is literally in Tennessee. Donelson, Tennessee.
Donelson.
It's Nashville.
Donelson. It's Donelson.
I got you. I'm not saying it again. And we're at a Captain D's. And if you don't know what a Captain D's is, because I didn't realize that it's the headquarters is actually in Nashville.
It's a Southern Long John Silver's.
Yeah, and we still have Long John Silver's down here.
But we didn't have Captain D's.
Yeah.
So it's like...
And Captain D's is fucking banger. You know, I'm not going to get fish and chips. I am going to get their chicken tenders and fries because it's got that like... You know, when you're at like a shrimp basket or a crab shack at the beach and you get chicken tenders and it's the best, like breaded, and the fries like have those crunchies, like beer battered. Oh my God. And their honey mustard, if you've never had it, is unbelievable. My grandparents loved, my mama loves
Captain D's.
Present tense Captain D's. Part of my childhood. I really love it. But I didn't realize like maybe not a lot of people know what Captain D's are. Anyways, it's 10 a.m. Sunday, February 16th, 1997. We're in Donelson, Nashville. Donelson. Is it Donelson?
It's definitely Donelson.
It does. We're in Nashville. We're in literally Nashville.
Middle Tennessee.
And that's just like a neighborhood in Nashville. There's a Captain D's employee. He arrives for his shift at work and he is unable to get in through the back door as he normally would. That would be unlocked for him to be able to enter. So he just like begins knocking on it, thinking that his manager or the other employee inside like just hadn't unlocked it yet because they opened I think at 10:30. So he starts knocking on it and he's getting no answer, and so he just decides to walk to the front of the building thinking like, okay, maybe they're doing something up front. He knocks on the front door, which if you've never been to a Captain D's, it's kind of like you walk in those, like there's a door on the left and there's a door on the right, and it's like a little foyer room that you step into, and then you go into more doors that are in there, and most of them are all set up the exact same way like that. So like he's trying to get in the front main door and there's another door. So he's banging on the front door, banging on the front window. He doesn't see either of his coworker or manager in there. The lights are on. More than half of the opening routine like duties had been completed. But there was just like no sign of his manager or the other employee anywhere. And he's thinking like, are we closed today? Like what happened? Is it a holiday?
Water main break.
Yeah. Did like something happen? Did one of them get sick? Like what is going on? And then he's looking around in the parking lot and he sees that both of their cars are there. So he's like, okay, well that's not the case. So then he calls another Captain D's that was like just down the road to be like, hey, ask that manager if they had heard anything or saw anything. No one answers. Because, of course, like, they're not even open yet, so they're not answering the phone.
Right.
When I worked in the restaurant business, I'm not answering the phone. If it's a moment after closing, 5 minutes before closing, actually. Opening, I'll talk to you when we're officially
I'm allowed
open.
2 rings. Lab, this is Morgan.
That's rough. Where are you running? Why are you running? Okay, so he calls the other Captain D's, no one answers, and when he's trying to figure out what to do next, he starts getting this like sinking feeling in his stomach that something had to be very, very wrong. So at this point, he decides that he's gonna call his friend, who is also the assistant manager, who was actually scheduled to work later that day, and whose dad happened to also be a police officer, to ask like what he should do if he could come down with the key or like what's going on. The assistant manager answers the phone, and him and his police officer dad rush down to the restaurant, and they get inside using the assistant manager's keys, where they find that the cash register had been completely emptied, and the manager and the morning shift employee had been brutally shot to death, execution style, in the walk-in cooler. The 3 men run out of the restaurant and immediately call 911. The victims were 25-year-old Stephen Hampton, who was the manager, and then 16-year-old Sarah Jackson, who was the morning shift employee. This is what investigators theorized took place after examining the crime scene and interviewing some potential witnesses. Now, when I say witnesses, I'm talking about people that were driving by around the time that later called in. They believe that this would have had to take place at 8:50 a.m. So an hour and 10 minutes before the other employee got to work. When Steve and Sarah heard someone banging on the front door, which was locked considering they didn't open until 10:30, Steve walks out to find a man standing there asking if they were hiring and holding up a piece of paper in his hand, according to one of the witnesses who was driving by at the time, which the witness assumed had to have been like a resume. Though we don't know the exact details on what this conversation was at the front door, we do know that Steve, the manager, and the man who was knocking on the door ended up going inside the restaurant to chat. Steve, the manager, let them both in and then turned around to lock the front door behind himself. And by the time he turned back around, he was looking down the barrel of a .32 caliber revolver. The man directs Steve behind the counter, where the man also collected Sarah and at gunpoint forced the two of them into the walk-in cooler. The man gets the information that he needs from Steve about the cash register before forcing both Steve and Sarah to lay face down on the cooler floor. But instead of shutting the door, trapping them inside and just moving on, the man decided to shoot them several times, emptying out his revolver until the point that he was sure that they were both dead. At which point he shut the door of the cooler, locked it, and began heading back to the front where the cash register was located, taking $7,140 in cash, $250 in coins, and Steve's wallet, which had $600 inside, before fleeing the scene with the entire wallet.
You know, I was driving behind a Chick-fil-A driver the other day, and you know their cars literally are stamped with, our driver does not hold cash.
Good.
Our driver has no money. So fucking sad we have to do that.
Yeah, we have to do that. Like, obviously.
Yeah.
And we all use Apple Pay.
Literally.
Back then, though, like, when I first read $7,000 out of a cash register, I was like, oh
yeah,
my
no one even carries
God.
that in there.
No, like, when
You have like 4 20s, 3 10s.
we'd have maybe 100 and 150 that we just, like, kept in the bottom. Underneath. And then we'd have, like, way more small bills because it was all about change, and that was only for the mammas and papas that came in. Other than that, I was checking people's IDs along with their credit cards and swiping them because my place did that.
Oh, I've never done that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
We had to check IDs to make sure the name matched.
What a time.
I know, you don't do that no more.
You just go like this.
Yeah, ding ding. Yep. Honestly, bring back checking the IDs.
No, really don't.
Yeah, actually. And I say all that to say, like, that just shows you this 1997. So, like, it was way more common that you were paying in cash. Like, I would almost be curious to see what people keep in the cash registers nowadays. Because, like, obviously last time that I worked in the restaurant industry was 2014, 15. And yeah, that was like probably when I finished up. 2016 was my last year. Like we said, like maybe 100, for sure a 50 underneath, and then 20s, mainly 5s, 10s, and 1s.
Yeah, that's how it was at the ice cream shop too.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like gone down significantly.
Cash only. So but I think at the end of the day, we had no more than like 400 in the register.
Yeah, no, I was never like toting big bucks out of there.
Yeah,
not that ever I was a manager, but
yeah,
but. Anyways, as police are like still at this crime scene, it's now around noon. A 911 call comes in from a man who is collecting cans to recycle off of Ellington Parkway, which is like 10 miles away from the Captain D's. When he comes across an ID for a man named Steve Hampton and his children. And he thought that, okay, maybe like this dude's wallet was stolen, so he reported it. Well, after confirming that those items did belong to the Steve Hampton who was murdered in the Captain D's robbery, and his wallet had been stolen at that point in time, investigators went to that area and began searching it, where they found Steve's driver's license, his credit cards, his movie rental cards, and his birth certificate card. Not like the birth certificate. Birth certificate card to me is like a social security card, you know? But at the same time, like, I have a passport card.
I don't have that.
I had to pay extra for it. It's not, you don't need it. It's just like if you're in Europe, you can use that to just like cross the borders. I think you can do it you used to be able to do it in Canada. Doubt it now.
Doubt it. Definitely not now.
Definitely. Do you know like the US passport used to be like the passport that could get you into the most countries? Not anymore.
I believe that.
Yeah. We like we fell down.
Well, I know like visa, like
so Europe, I think Singapore's number
Europe
1 now.
wants to do visas now too. I'm pretty sure.
Anyways, unfortunately, that's all that they could find in the woods, like where they found all those cards. So investigators decide to send all of this stuff to the lab to go get forensic testing. And they actually do get some stuff off of these cards. The main thing being fingerprints from both movie rental card and his ID that did not match Steven. So they're like, okay, that's interesting. However, they did not have databases at this time. CODIS did not go into effect, like the official database, until October of 1998. So even then, like locally, it was going to take months. You had to like one-on-one compare.
Oh my God.
I don't know how the fuck anyone got arrested back in the day.
No,
truly.
Really.
I don't know how the fuck they solved any crimes.
Unless everyone just had guilty consciences then and was just like,
I mean, and they didn't have cameras. They didn't have like, I mean, they had like obviously like cameras.
No, it was
but
like what it
you
was talking at the bar. Drunk.
Yeah, and that would get you into it. And I guess like your
towns are so small
concrete
too. Everybody
evidence back then could be a little bit looser than it is now, because like now there's like so many opportunities that you can be caught.
Right.
What was your phone doing? Where was your phone at? It's not even your phone was pinging off this fucking cell tower.
Your phone was pinging
Your
in
Find
here.
My Friends says that you were right
in that
here.
room of the house.
Yeah.
Your Google searches.
And you factory reset your phone and we can still see it.
Yeah.
So, and then we saw you on this satellite.
Literally.
And then Google Maps was driving by at that time. Like there are so many opportunities now that you are like,
which blows my mind
caught.
how they took so long to get the guy in Jackson.
Oh my God.
I don't
Me and
know
Morgan literally have been talking about that for so long. We're like, something.
They got him today though.
Yeah, they did.
When we're recording this.
Well, finally, because I mean, he literally was on camera, just like walking around.
Literally with an assault rifle.
In camo with an assault rifle. Sorry, I'll go back to this now. Okay, it's going to take forever for us to compare all these fingerprints to find someone that's a match. And I don't think they ever, no, I'm positive. They really don't find anyone locally that matches these fingerprints. Then, just over a month later, just before midnight on Sunday, March 23rd, 1997, two people were walking out the back door of a McDonald's that they worked at to throw out the trash. It was a part of their like closing routine. And note, this McDonald's is only 3.4 miles northeast of the Captain D's on the same street. They both sat on Lebanon Road, when a man stops them at gunpoint. The two employees are directed by the man to re-enter the building through the back door that they came out of, where a third employee was standing inside waiting for them to knock so he could let them back in. So now all three of the employees are being held at gunpoint and they are forced into the storeroom, where the man opened fired on them, execution style, just like Sarah and Steve, until they were all deceased. These three employees were 17-year-old Andrea Brown, 27-year-old Ronald Santiago, and 23-year-old Robert Sewell. The man begins making his way to the cash register after killing all three of them when he realizes and spots a fourth employee who was hiding in the building. His name was Jose Gonzalez. The man corners Jose, aims his gun at him, and pulls the trigger. And the gun jams.
Thank God.
Jose immediately takes this opportunity to begin fighting back against the man with everything that he had in him, but very quickly gets overpowered by the man when he realizes that the man has a knife. Jose is stabbed 17 times total by the man and left for dead when he went limp. The man then went back to the cash register, taking $3,000 and fleeing out the back door that slammed shut behind him, which was Jose's cue to get up. You see, he had been severely injured to the point that he was knocked unconscious, but he was hanging on to dear life, playing dead, so that his attacker would just leave him alone. He had just enough adrenaline left to crawl into the next room and grab the phone to call 911. This dispatcher could barely understand what Jose was saying due to him struggling to breathe and move. So officers were dispatched to the restaurant with little to no information. They were shocked to find Jose still clinging on to life, and yet another fast food attack. Jose was rushed to the nearby hospital where he underwent life-saving surgeries and miraculously survived. Once he was able to work with police, he gave them a description of the man, his weapon, and what happened. At the scene, they collected several partial prints, boot prints, several fibers, possible DNA, and 6 .25 caliber bullet casings, which was a different gun from the one used in the Captain D's attack. However, Jose's description of the attacker closely resembled the same man that the witness driving by with the resume, saw the resume and everything, saw that morning at Captain D's. It was at this point that the media gave the attacker the name the fast food killer. So investigators are waiting for all of the forensics to come back on the evidence that they had collected from McDonald's at that scene to be compared with the Captain D's scene, when yet another month to the day passes and they receive yet another 911 call. It's 10 p.m. on April 23rd, 1997 at a Baskin-Robbins on Wilma Rudolph Boulevard in Clarksdale, Tennessee. Now, this is 50 miles from Nashville. Side note, what do you call Baskin-Robbins at home?
Baskin-Robbins? Trick question?
No, not trick question, because I didn't know that there are places around the country that call them 31 flavors, not Baskin-Robbins. Comment down below if you call it 31 flavors instead of Baskin-Robbins. And also, you know how like the outside of the logo, the BR is blue and the inside's pink? The inside is 31.
Yeah. I honestly couldn't even pinpoint a Baskin-Robbins at home. Like I always knew what Baskin-Robbins was.
Oh.
Because it would be like in a food court.
Yeah.
But it was never like its own standing restaurant for us.
Cleveland, fuck. I mean, literally, I grew up on Baskin-Robbins. I love Baskin-Robbins. Baskin-Robbins is my ice cream choice place.
I can't.
And I know that they're known for the having 31
like
flavors.
3 locals, and then we had a Rita's, and we never even had a Brewster's.
Oh, love a Brewster's.
Yeah.
A cake batter from Brewster's right now? Hey, have you seen the new soft serve place here in Knoxville?
No.
Crispy cones.
Oh, I saw a TikTok.
Oh my God. I have to have it.
So ramen and crispy crumb.
Yeah.
Crispy crumbs.
And we get to go see the scary movie.
Perfect.
Sounds like a date.
Date
Great.
night.
See you there. Okay. So, sorry, that was not the time. But whenever I was like listening to people, like different people cover it, I heard people call it 31 flavors. I knew immediately that they were talking about
I think
Baskin-Robbins.
BR is like in a food court.
I want to be I want my favorite thing from Baskin-Robbins. I feel like I've talked about this many times is a large chocolate milkshake. It's so basic. It's unbelievable. It's the best chocolate milkshake ever. When I ran track, every day after I finished, I would go get me a medium.
You look like you're about to go to your track meet today.
I am. Put me in, coach. Actually, take me the fuck out, coach. I do not want to. I do not want to be running. I wish my track coach would listen to that.
I can't believe we used to run track. Dude, even the warm-up was like a mile.
No, yeah.
What the fuck?
Full sprint. Like,
cool down, you had to do a mile, sometimes like 2.
We were out there doing jumps and fucking running. Logan said to me, he's like, yeah, Taylor, you know, a lap around a full track's 400.
400 meters.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, it's a 400. I ran 400s. And he goes, you did not run 400s. I said, I did. I fucking did.
My first
and
year,
it was horrid.
My first year I ran 100 meter because that's where they just put you if you suck.
Yeah.
Or if you're really fast.
Yeah.
I wasn't the ladder.
I also ran 100.
And then I did long triple high.
I did 100, 200, 400. They took me out of 100s. I hated 400. I would cry every time
All
they
I
made
wanted
me
to do was be a thrower. I was just like,
put me in shot put, babe.
Literally,
let me
because
swing
here's
that
how
purse
track
around.
practice started. You got to the track. All right, throwers, head out to the field.
Yep.
Runners,
Run
4 laps.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck. Terrible.
I would do, and I did long jump. I did high jump, and sometimes I would do pole vault.
Oh, I never could do pole vault.
I was too scared. I wouldn't.
I
would practice
jump.
it.
I was good at triple jump.
Yeah.
High jump, I was a little bit better my senior year, but my ass was too big. It just hit the damn pole.
I just like I could never jump. I did high jump, but like the running before like a long jump, I could never get like high. So it looked like I was
step over the board.
Yeah, and like you had God, and they like scratch. I'm like, oh my God, fuck off! That was not a scratch. Run it back. And then they weren't even recording it. We didn't even get like a slow-mo playback. Like
nothing.
It was just based on that one bitch that was standing there with her fucking face glued to it.
By like my last 2 years, like my jumping coach was pretty chill. Like I would be like, we have to move the sandboards. Like we can't run our warm-up. And they would just let me.
I would always go up and help coach Caps. We had 2. We had a girl coach and a guy coach. And
we had like 7 track coaches.
I feel like we had more, but those were like the main ones that I worked with. I went up, because I wasn't doing like field shit.
One thing I never be caught dead doing is cross country.
You would never catch me doing cross country.
Those bitches were crazy.
No, and they were running all the time. I was like, do they ever get to sit the fuck down?
I would start cheer practice and end cheer practice, and they're still running.
And I would drive home, and I would pass them on my way home. And I'd be like, I would be coming to school, I'd pass them. And I'd be leaving school, and I'd pass them. I said, did you guys even go to school?
I know.
Like,
they just ran all day.
Yeah, they did. They really did. And they would run
cross country.
Like a school of fish.
If you were in cross country in high school,
How are you mentally today?
You were crazy. That was crazy of you.
No, y'all were being crazy. I hope you like have an Olympic medal because truly, like, no one trained like the cross country people.
Well, I'm just like thinking about all the cross country people that were on the team. I don't think any of them run anymore. Like they were so burnt out by it. But in high school, they don't even do races.
Yeah, I can't even think of.
My cousin was cross country and they loved it. They were just, and their cross country meets were always so far because like very like they had to go out, so they got to leave.
Other
school
than
early.
cross country, like, you know, absolutely grinding every day, the wrestlers. Good
my
God.
just garbage
Just
bags
constantly
running around.
just like doing shit.
I dated one.
I did too. I dated like 3.
Sunken eyes.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
they're chugging pickle juice.
can you not eat tuna for lunch?
Yeah, like they're being crazy.
I'm
and
going
then
up to the snack bar ×3.
yeah, they're
and
like
Aaron's
always
still
sweating.
eating tuna.
Dude, they were sleeping with they were like I had a boyfriend who would get in a cold shower. He would only take cold showers. He would lay like a tarp down on his bed, not even dry off when he got out of the shower, turn on his fan and sleep completely soaking wet, so he would shiver all night and burn calories so he could get down a weight class.
Aaron cutting weight was absolutely.
They're horribly mean.
And then I lived with 2 that cut weight.
Oh no, I would never be able to live with this.
Actually, Marshall didn't cut weight.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Matter of fact, they're like, feed that boy more.
Yeah.
No,
Get
he
him
did
up.
cut weight, I think, 1 year, but Mitchell, he hated wrestling. He would have to cut down like 25 pounds.
I just loved when they were done and you
crazy.
could let them eat.
Aaron would, in the fall, would weigh like 140.
Yeah.
And then wrestling season, he'd have to cut down to 116.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you do that?
No, because a girl could never.
Girl can never.
A girl could never. Hey, there's a like Cleveland's like major girl wrestling team now. And they fucking kill it. They're out there.
Do they have weight classes like boys?
I don't know, but yeah, because they're out there slamming bitches. By slamming bitches, I mean slamming boys. And I was sitting there watching. I was like, fucking hell yeah, bitch.
Hell yeah.
Fucking slam that motherfucker to the ground.
That's crazy.
That's so
Good for
fun. But
them.
then I was sitting there thinking, I do not want to be rubbing up against one of those wrestlers. Ringworm Central.
Oh, and MRSA.
All of those
ringworm.
guys had, when we would cheer for wrestling, we'd have to sit on the edge of the mat. We would get ringworm from sitting on the edge of the mat cheering.
Yeah. Well, because then the boys were in charge of cleaning
Twist
it.
them like a pretzel, show them how to wrestle.
Oh, ours is different. Twist him like a pretzel, teach him how to wrestle. Go, McGuffey, go.
No, we would bang on do like you know how you do like step dances like at basketball? We did those, but with our hands.
On the bleachers.
No, on the mats.
Oh, well,
we were shaking
high
the
school.
fucking
We weren't
mats.
allowed to be on the mat unless it was like a tourney.
No, yeah, we were on the mats forever.
We were always in the bleachers.
That's nice, actually. I would have preferred to have been.
Yeah, youth cheer though, because my mother. That's a long story. Anyway, youth cheer. I was on those dirty ass little kid mats. Loved
Yeah.
them too.
Yeah, they were fun to tumble on. Oh, and then between if we'd win a match, the girls that could do stand back handsprings, they would like do the things and we'd stand up and we'd do this like crazy turn back thing. And I would always do it because it was the only time I would ever actually throw my back handspring was on the fucking mat because I was like, I'm not.
Basketball's not happening. That's a hard wood.
I did the first running back handspring I ever did. Double.
Big game.
It was a big game. And I was like, I'm going to fucking do it. And I did it, and my ankle hurt for like 3 weeks. Like, I don't think. Okay, we need to get back to my case. Like, what are we doing? We're just sitting here and just chit chatting. Baskin-Robbins, 31 flavors,
You
running
started
track.
this.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so it's 10 p.m., and this is like the worst part of this entire case. So I really do apologize. I did not mean to be that insensitive.
We're just gonna cut that out.
I just wanted to. No, maybe not. Like, I just wanted to bring up the fact that I didn't realize that not everyone called it Baskin-Robbins. It was like the first time I learned that Carl's Jr. was a thing and not Hardee's. Okay, moving on. It's 10 p.m. on April 23rd, 1997 at a Baskin-Robbins on Wilma Rudolph Boulevard in Clarksdale, Tennessee, which is about 50 miles from Nashville, north. 21-year-old Angela Holmes and 16-year-old Michelle Mace were doing their closing duties and had just locked the front doors of the Baskin-Robbins when a man began knocking on them. The girls told the man that they were closed and that they were sorry that they couldn't help him, but somehow the man was able to talk them into letting him inside. And immediately, the man pulled out a gun. He took all the money out of the cash register and the safe, taking the lid, like the top off of it, which I never could find anywhere that like elaborated on how this was possible, but that's what it said. But instead of killing both of the girls like he had done in the previous 2 cases, the man forces the 2 of them into his car and flees with them. Now, this all took place within the span of 10 minutes, which we know because at 10:10 p.m., Michelle's brother pulled into the parking lot to pick her up, as he did after every single one of her shifts. He was kind of shocked that that Michelle wasn't immediately like coming out as she normally did at this point in time, like when he took that long to get there. It didn't really take her and Angela that much time to shut down the place together. So he just like kind of sat in his car and was looking for her. The lights were on inside the Baskin-Robbins and Angela's car was still in the parking lot. And everything looked normal, except for the fact that he never once saw either of the girls like walking around inside as he typically would when sitting there. At this point, he kind of gets that sinking feeling in his stomach because he knew about everything that had been going on in Nashville. It was as if he just knew right then that something was extremely wrong. So he didn't even question it. He picked up his phone and he called 911. Police arrive and force their way inside the building where they find the safe was open and empty as well as the cash register with no sign of the girls. Now, knowing that what had been going on in Nashville with the fast food killer, they didn't know if this was a copycat or if it was the same dude, especially because this technically like wasn't the MO. He never took the victims to a second location. He would just kill them execution style inside the building and leave them in there before robbing and leaving. Well, the next day, a 911 call comes in from 2 hikers that reported finding the bodies of 2 women brutally murdered at the Dunbar Cave State Natural Area in Montgomery County, Tennessee, which is roughly 3 or so miles away from the Baskin-Robbins that they were abducted from. And they were quickly identified as being Angela and Michelle. The girls had several deep stab wounds, abrasions, and cuts all over their bodies. Some reports also suggest SA and mutilation, with severe and extremely deep slashing wounds to their necks, reaching their spines. It was so deep. It was determined that both girls had bled to death due to these injuries. Now, fast forward to June 25th, 2 months later, when police get a hit on the fingerprints after arresting someone just hours before. You see, that day, June 25th, a man named Paul Dennis Reed had gone to the house of his former boss from this like Nashville Shoney's that he had gotten fired from. And this boss's name was Mitch Roberts. So Paul pulls up to Mitch Roberts' house. And what I need to let you know is that the Shoney's that he was fired from by Mitch was only like a mile down Lebanon Road from the Captain D's.
Okay.
Paul was acting really, really weird when Mitch opened the door, and he kind of like left the screen door shut and they were kind of talking through that. And he's like being weirdly nice and he's like kind of walking around acting nervous and like twitchy. And then he's like being like, hey, it's so good to see you. Like, I was just wanting to get my job back. Like, would you be willing to give me my job back? But when Mitch opened the door to like, you know, kind of like come out and talk to him, Paul begins to try and force himself in. Well, Mitch's kids are inside. So he forces himself out of the house and Paul starts trying to drag him into his car. And he's got a gun, a revolver, pointed at Mitch. Well, they're shoving each other, fighting each other in the front door, between the front door and the car. When Paul and Mitch hear, smile, wave at me. And they look over and Mitch's son is standing in the doorway holding a camcorder that's recording.
Oh my God. Like a little toddler?
Yeah, like a, you know, like
little kid.
You'd get a hold of your parents' camcorder and be like, look, mommy, smile. And it's on. The red light is on. They both immediately stop what they're doing. Paul looks at the camera, waves nervously, and runs off, gets in his car. Mitch immediately grabs his son, rips inside the door, slams the door shut, locks it, runs to the phone and calls 911. And police responded immediately and were able to pull Paul over like just a few roads away. And he gets arrested. He quickly, you know, they book him, they take his fingerprints, and it's a match. I mean, that's
for all of them. Or where did they get prints from?
They had prints
McDonald's.
Only for McDonald's. I mean, I'm sorry, Captain D's, the first one from the ID cards, quickly making him the number 1 suspect in the fast food murders. After confirming that his fingerprints were a match, evidence in Paul's car was identified, containing forensic evidence linked to both Angela and Michelle from the Baskin-Robbins, not to mention the fact that there was evidence of him using a credit card at a gas station near the exact location where he had dumped the girls' bodies right after murdering them, roughly 40 miles away from his home. So he had no way to like give an alibi. It was his own credit card that he used. And lastly, Jose Gonzalez from McDonald's, who had survived after being stabbed 17 times, immediately was able to identify Paul Dennis Reed as his attacker in the lineup. So now they had him for Captain D's, McDonald's, and Baskin-Robbins.
Holy shit.
So who the fuck is Paul Dennis Reed, aka the fast food killer? Paul Dennis Reed Jr. was born in Richland Hills, Texas, which is like just northeast of Fort Worth, between Fort Worth and Dallas, on November 12th, 1975. Paul had two older sisters named Lydia and Janet and had a bit of a rough childhood due to a deformed ear that caused hearing loss, as well as the separation of his parents when he was only 3 years old. And by separation, I mean his mom divorced his dad because he was very, very abusive and he was an alcoholic. Linda was able to go, so the oldest sister was able to go with their mother, but Janet, the middle sister, and Paul were left behind with their father and his mother, so their grandmother. But apparently dad wasn't really around a lot due to his job and lifestyle. And I read that he was like a private investigator who repoed cars. So he was just like a repo guy.
Fucking scary looking.
Yeah. Leaving grandma, dad's mom, to do most of the raising of Janet and Paul. And she really wasn't involved herself, leaving Paul to really just do whatever he wanted and got into a lot of trouble, even as like a little kid, beginning his official criminal career at the very young age of 5. With multiple run-ins with family and police, mostly a lot of petty theft from neighbors, which again started at 5 years old. And even once he put tacks in his grandma's soup, like nails.
Oh, like thumbtacks.
Thumbtacks. And then he set his grandma's bed on fire when she was asleep in it. She got burned pretty badly. And trigger warning, took her dog outside and beat it to death with a baseball bat.
What the fuck?
At 5 years old. Which his family believed was actually the result of him being accidentally hit in the head with a brick while at a construction site when he was just 5 years old, and like changed who he was. Okay. I feel like that's like old killer psychology.
Yeah, agreed.
But it's mentioned and
It's
everything.
like dropped in your head when you're born.
Yeah, like type of thing. But I will say, like, he has multiple recorded head traumas that I'm going to walk you through, just because people use that argument a lot. He used it in court. It didn't work. It's bullshit. That's all we need to know. Okay. And like I said, it was the first of many head traumas that he would face. Paul was finally sent to school for the first time at the age of 7, which he had a really, really hard time adjusting to because he very clearly had like learning disabilities. And after working with the school counselor, which some reports actually called the school counselor a psychiatrist due to his odd and quote inappropriate behaviors that he exhibited at school, he was informally diagnosed by the school counselor / psychiatrist with a mental disability, but I could not find exactly what and if this is even true. So take that with a grain of salt. Either way, after just 1 year in school, Paul was sent to an all-boys Catholic school in Houston that would actually become a school for troubled boys, like a a reform school type of thing. And while there, at the age of 14, he was riding his bike when he was in an accident of some sort and fractured his skull that resulted with him being in the hospital for like multiple weeks. He finally gets out, he gets cleared, he's on his bike playing around with his friends again, and he's healed now. He gets hit by a fucking car and thrown like several feet after going through the windshield, essentially. Goes back to the hospital, another traumatic brain injury that he faces. And at this point, his behavior at school got even worse, so he was kicked out. At which point, his father decided that he's like, I can't take this anymore. You, grandma, can't take this anymore. So he's like, I'm going to put you up for adoption. And his mom's like, no, I'll take him. So Paul moves in with his mom and oldest sister, Linda, where Paul allegedly tried to attack and assault his mother and also attempted to sexually assault both of his sisters, at which point he was kicked out at 16 for good. From then on, he had a fast-growing juvenile record, everything from assault, forging checks, to auto theft. And then at the age of 26 in 1983, he robbed a steakhouse in Houston, Texas, and was sentenced to 20 years in prison, but was paroled after only serving 7. He got a job being a truck driver, but had a wreck, and this gave him workman's comp and a settlement, which he spent all of his money on plastic surgery to make himself more photogenic because he was really insecure about himself. And he decided after this, like, he wanted a new start in life. He wanted to stop being a criminal. He wanted to pursue his dream of becoming a country music singer.
Okay.
So he moves to Nashville, Tennessee, new
Where
face
else,
and all.
right?
You know, where else would you had? And in the meantime, to make ends meet while he was working on, you know, getting his name out there and becoming a star, he got a job working as a dishwasher at a Shoney's. If you don't know what a Shoney's is, I love a good Shoney's as well. Every Shoney's that I've ever gone to in my life is now a bank. So I don't even know if there's still... Actually, there's still one open on Chapman Highway.
Yeah, I was about to say, over by the... Rainforest Arby's.
I haven't been to a Shoney's in so long, but I used to be fucking it up. And guys, fun fact, in Cleveland...
Shoney's is buffet, right?
Yeah, it was a buffet a long time ago. Shoney's in Cleveland is actually right next door to the Baskin-Robbins and my high school. So I'd walk over there, eat at the Shoney's, and walk over to the Baskin-Robbins after school. And then a Mexican restaurant moved into the Shoney's, and they called themselves... I swear to God, they called themselves... Oh, you guys come down to Mexican Shoney's. Just because like everyone in town knew it as Shoney's.
That's funny.
It was so funny. It was a really good restaurant. And now it's a bank. Anyways, so he becomes a dishwasher at the Shoney's to save up his money so that way he can afford rent while he's working on being a country music star. But he was forced to be let go by Mitch, the boss, who he tried to kidnap when his kid came out with a camcorder, after getting angry and throwing a plate at a coworker's head and allegedly also being caught stealing money. Now, side note, the same coworker that he threw the plate at the head of actually like came and was interviewed in a newspaper and said, yeah, me and him were like actually friends at first. And one thing that he told me right after he started working there was, man, I never realized how easy it would be to rob a fast food restaurant and get thousands of dollars. We should do it someday.
And he never thought about it when all the local fast food restaurants were happening?
No.
Murders?
No. Making it to where he could not... Okay, so he gets fired and makes it to where he cannot make ends meet. His music career was violently failing at this point, and he decides that he is going to rob this Captain D's and kill anyone that gets in his way. So he purchases 3 guns, all revolvers, thus the beginning of his killing spree. Paul Dennis Reed was convicted and found guilty of 7 counts of first-degree murder in 1999 after several failed attempts to plead insanity. Just some examples for you to, you know, let marinate in your head. When the jury was in the court, he would like flip back in his chair and be like laughing like Goofy.
What?
Like, you know, from Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Putting
on a show. And then the second that the jury was gone, he would be completely like normal.
What the fuck?
And like if the jury was there, he'd like do his hair all crazy. And then if the jury wasn't there, his hair would be normal. And so the judge, obviously, it's the same judge. And so the judge is like, dude,
what are you doing?
What are you doing right now? No, like, we're not doing this. So yeah, that happens.
I mean, he's a very sick individual. But I will say TBIs, they do change people. Like if it was a really serious one at a young age.
It could be. But like, you know, it also is a part of that same thing that we were talking about. Like back then, I don't know how, and he's obviously like putting on a show here, but I do know that he did have some form of like intellectual disability.
Yeah.
At some level. Not to the point that he can plead insanity comfortably.
Right.
And like he knew, he had awareness of what he was, but... or what he was doing at all times, but like that doesn't.
Why did he embody a Disney character?
I don't know.
Insanity.
Well, the thing is like he very clearly was an impulsive person. Like that frontal lobe was damaged. You know what I mean? Like he did not think anything through. Anyways, he was sentenced to death 7 times and was sent to the Tennessee Morgan County Correctional Complex. And fucked up fun fact, 7 death sentences is the most ever handed out to a single person in the state of Tennessee.
Wow.
In history. However, he would die before he was able to be executed at Nashville General Hospital on November 1st, 2013, 11 days before his 56th birthday, due to complications with pneumonia, heart failure, and upper respiratory issues after spending 2 weeks in the hospital. And that is the case of the fast food killer that I for sure have never covered.
You've never covered that?
Yeah.
No, he's a sick fuck.
Yeah.
That's so sad because majority of fast food workers,
they're just there to get a paycheck.
Well, and they're also young adults that are like, it's their first job.
Yep. They're just like, or they're older and you know, they're just like doing it to like make, you know, get a little extra cash on the side.
Or it's literally they're making ends meet. Like you took away the income and food source for an entire family.
Yep.
It's fucked up.
It's really fucking upsetting.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, you're so welcome, bitch. It's so bad. Like, I was sitting there researching this and I was like, why? Like, why? Because it's really upsetting because, like, you know, most of the time I'm, not that I'm like any less mad at this killer, but like this guy, it's like we used to get so mad about it like years ago, early on in the podcast, where we'd be like, there were so many fucking signs. Like, no one picked up on this. No one fucking, and it's like, there's not really much you can do.
Yeah.
What can you say? This person's going to be a serial killer?
Right. And that is what we say today.
And that's what it is, what we say today. But like, still, even though we say it,
can't do anything.
Can't do anything. It just is what it is until someone makes a move. And it's like sad too, because it's like, I really do believe that in his mind, he was like, I'm going to move to Nashville and I'm going to become
a country
music singer. But like, he just clearly wasn't all there. Not enough to plead insanity at all. And then he just lost his fucking shit. And then all these people lost their lives.
What his firing date was versus his Captain D's
I think it was like a month.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was a month because he had to like save. I forgot to tell you this. So right before the murder, like a month before the murder, he had gone to this car dealership to look at new cars. He needed a car. He didn't have a car. He like talked to the salesman, got the salesman's card, and was like, okay, like when I get the money, I'm gonna come back, but like I'm just flat broke right now. Mm-hmm. Well, then he gets fired from Shoney. So like maybe it was 2 months before. And literally 2 days after the murders and robbery at Captain D's, he goes back to that salesman, and he's like, okay, here's $2,000 cash. I'm going to prepay a lease on this car, and I want to drive off with it today. And the salesman was like, well, fucking hell yeah. But dude, how'd you get this money? Like, it's only been like 2 months. Like, how'd you, because, you know, $2,000.
Right.
Even today, like, it's going to take you a minute to make $2,000, but like $2,000 back then, it's going to take you a minute to make $2,000. And he basically was like, oh, dude, I'm just a good saver. I'm a hard worker. And my dad gave me a little extra cash to get me right to that 2,000 mark so I could come in and do it. And, you know, the salesman's not fucking questioning anything.
Right. They're like, yeah, get it off the lot.
He's like, fucking hell yeah. Well, he's sitting there, like, being interviewed by police, and he was like, dude, I talked about it with all my friends about how fucking weird it was that this guy came back with $2,000. I didn't even think anything of it. Because, like, clearly people knew something was wrong with him. Like, something was off about this guy, which is, like, so upsetting because, like, it could have been prevented. But he had that, like, trusting vibe about him. He got all these people to open the door and let them inside.
Yeah.
When they were closed, which when I worked in food, fuck
no.
off. I'm not even unlocking the door to talk to you. Hell no.
I hate that. You're always so vulnerable there too, like at, like fast food.
I mean, I
like,
remember being so scared. All those windows.
Oh my God. I remember the pie shop. It's a glass box.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was thinking about, like a Baskin-Robbins.
And we were by ourselves.
All glass box.
Like it was just,
it's just creepy, and like
and then
people watch you.
You had to walk the trash all the way to behind Nectar.
Yeah, and we're just
by
little
yourself
fucking
at 10
girls.
o'clock at night.
Yeah, exactly. Like no, and no. Whenever I worked at Shane's, like I loved taking out the trash because I would do anything to get the fuck out of that restaurant at the end of the night and just take a breath of non-barbecue tainted air.
Right. And
like, there was one time that I went and I was throwing it back in the dumpster, and there were like 2 men on the other side of the dumpster because they had like those like cages around them, and they came out like towards me. They were clearly like displaced and struggling. I was screaming fucking like for my life. I was so scared because it was so dark. I was 16, like so scary. And then after that, we started doing doubles. Like it had to be a double.
Yeah. Well, I would close the damn shop by myself.
No, like, you were abused. We need to do a lawsuit, dude.
Dude, literally the 3 a.m. arrival times.
Yo, that was crazy.
Yourself.
And you were handling fucking peanuts all day long, inhaling peanuts. Bacon peanuts, like you were in a.
I'm coming for you.
Yeah, no,
pie shop.
Truly, no, and we've been saying that for years, and we are still coming for you.
Still coming for you.
Still coming for you.
Alrighty, guys.
All right, love you so much. What the fuck is that? Love you. We will talk to you on TBB if I ever get it out on time,
I know,
and
like,
on
how
Patreon,
do we
of
not
course.
Do it. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.